Let's get started, shall we? What inspired me to put this series together? Well, over the years that I've been involved with the prescription strength training, I realized that there is a lot of misconceptions about a gym, about fitness, about diet, about weight loss, and most importantly, about how to become pain-free. I see a lot of people that are in pain all the time, and they are not realizing that there is actually a solution, and there are things that we can do that are simple to be pain-free. And that was my story. I was a professional entertainer my whole life, a flamenco dancer. I had a very fulfilling career. Yet, about 10 years ago, I found myself suffering from a lot of injuries. And my back was against the wall. I had tried everything. I have tried all the alternative medicine modalities. I tried chiropractor, acupunctures, nutrition, holistic healing, energy healing. I was already in good shape because I was a dancer, and I had literally tried just about everything. I was in chronic pain all the time, and I was really starting to lose the grip. I was gaining weight. I had been on diet my whole life. Through the power of intention, I manifested something miraculous in my life that changed my life forever. One day, by accident, which of course I don't believe in accident, I met Dr. Fitness USA. My transformation was so miraculous. Literally within a couple of weeks, my injuries healed, and I regained basically my health and my body.
The people that are 20 in the 30s to, right now, they're in what they call the new generation. If you go into a gym and you look in the aerobics room, they're not doing Zumba, they're doing strength training. Now, the women in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s that come from a different generation, they're still thinking that they're going to get in shape or they're going to do yoga. And their idea of strength training is lift 10-pound dumbbells. Yoga uses different muscle fibers. It has no principles to build muscle mass, as that's what you lose when you get older because of the change in hormones and the weakness that sets into the body if you're not doing strength training. Okay? And body design also strengthens your nervous system. It quiets your mind. It's like going to an acupuncturist and hoping they know where to put the meridian or the needle in the right meridian to treat whatever they want to do. When you go to a personal trainer, because you're kind of like uneducated, he's going to or she's going to dilute the training, stretching, core training, whatever it is, and you're going to get very little weight training. And the exercises that are given to you by a personal trainer have nothing to do with your body. They don't have a sequence, they don't have a weight scale, and they don't have a goal for you. But if you sweat a lot, they're going to make money because that's the way the industry works.
It was just something that was like almost a miracle. I never even thought that it was possible, and especially not with lifting weights. Lifting weights sounds hard. It sounds painful. But it wasn't. At that moment.
So tell us a little about that, because it is a disconnect. I know when I was talking to you about, I'm having pain in my back, and the whole concept of lifting weights, your first sense is, how can I do that if I'm in pain? And why would I do that? Why wouldn't that just make it worse? And you're saying, oh no, that won't necessarily get worse. I mean, you must have had the same feeling. Are you nuts, Stephen, that I'm going to go into that gym and start moving weights around? I'm already hurting. Why would I want to do something that would maybe hurt me more? But like you said, it's counterintuitive. That's not what happened to you at all. In fact, you said by doing it, it alleviated all the pain. So there must be some magic in this formula that is hard for the average person to understand. What is that? Can you speak to that?
Yes, absolutely.
You want the exercises to build upon each other, so the body warms up and gets stronger and stronger. It's like a progression. And since I was a professional dancer, I always compare it to dancing. For example, in ballet, there is a very specific sequence of exercise that you do it's a progression. So I don't know if you know anything about ballet, but you start by warming up a little bit the feet, and then you do a little bit plie, and then and pretty soon towards the half an hour of your dance class, now you're starting to do kicks and and then jumps, and so it's a sequence, and it's proven, it works, and it's adopted by everybody in the entire world. And there are different schools of dance. You have the Russian school, you have the American school, so they differ a little bit in the way they do it, but the foundation is the same. Okay. Yes. In strength training, it's not like that. In strength training, you have a million different people that all have their own answers to how it should be. And there are some people that are really built and are very good looking, like some of the bodybuilders. And so they have achieved something for themselves, but in terms of a system that really works on what we're talking about, sustainability, postural alignment, muscular imbalances, all the things that really matters if you want to grow and age gracefully and pain-free. There's no system. A lot of people end up with injuries, even those that teach the stuff, then they get a little bit older, and then the shoulder goes out or the knee goes out, or
Okay, because I couldn't even lift a gallon of water, with my shoulder that was like so bad, my back, everything, and it just didn't make sense at all. And I had I had a really hard time. Like the first time I went to the gym, understand I had a frozen shoulder, so much pain in my back. And here I am with 25 pounds dumbbells, and he wanted me to do like a chest press. And, I was going, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm afraid. What about, you don't understand. I have pain, and you just sat there and waited, and I did it. And it was not completely pain-free the first time, but I did it. And it didn't hurt more. As a matter of fact, very shortly, the pain went away. And yes, that's what got me on the path of researching, studying, and sticking really close to Stephen, because I wanted to know the trick.
That I immediately got a vision that this protocol, this knowledge had to be made available to the world, basically. So in order to transform your life, change, you need to be open to break through self-imposed limitation and keep an opening to learning about new things, about things that maybe you can't imagine. Like a student of ours one time said, you don't know what you don't know. And it is so true, because I see it all the time.
Wasn't it interesting, the analogy that before, when you would come into the gym, you would wonder, how do people really build their body? Because you were involved, you've been training for like 20 years. And I would ask you a question like, what do you do when you come into the gym as a first exercise? And you would mention that you were on a gravitron or you do something interesting. And I would say, well, you're committing suicide. Yeah. So now when you look back, did you understand what I mean now that you're at a different place today?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I can look in the mirror and see the difference. I can feel the difference. I know the difference now. I didn't have that before. And I think it's because there's something to be said about, number one, you don't know what you don't know. So by me first acknowledging that I was coming to the gym on a pretty semi-regular basis, doing it my way, where my way was not the ideal way, so I had to let go of thinking that I knew what was best for me. And number two, was being willing to push myself beyond my own perceived limits in terms of what I think I can do, how much I can do, and how quickly I can do it. And by you being able to get me past those barriers that I kind of created for myself, you've not only given me the confidence to keep going further, I now know I can do it on my own because I got the roadmap.
So what you can expect from this 13-part series is clarity. When you have clarity and knowledge, you can start having a vision. And when you have a vision, now you have hope. And now you can start taking action to change your life. We're going to talk about some things that are very matter of fact, but we're also going to talk about some things that are more spiritual, esoteric, if you like, and we're going to talk about universal laws and how they apply to your fitness regimen, and why a lot of times whatever you're doing in fitness cannot be sustainable because without you knowing it, you're not in alignment with universal principles, with the universal laws that govern our universe. Principles such as grounding, such as male-female energy, what we know in Eastern philosophy is the yin-yang. Yes, the yin-yang applies to your fitness. It does. We're talking about posture, but not only posture, but how posture relates to the alignment of the chakras and how that affects your emotions. Have you ever thought about this? As a matter of fact, one of our topic is going to be how every motion creates an emotion. And how does that relate to what you do in your workout? There's a lot to learn about mental health and addiction recovery, how exercise relates to those topics. Relationships. How does your fitness affect your relationships and vice versa? And then we're going to go a step further. We're going to talk about sacred geometry and the power of manifestation. And I'm going to reveal to you a few things that maybe you never heard before about tools that you can use to really manifest your heart's desire. So the prescription strength training basically is a proven and tested strength training prescription. It's a formula. It's a sequence of exercises that are carefully crafted together to work on your posture, to work on correcting muscular alignment. And the best part of all, it's an educational process that is sustainable.
You know, having been on this program since March, I can attest the fact that it's made a huge change in my life. Certainly in correcting my posture, losing weight, which is a byproduct of this, having more energy. There's so many factors that make me want to go back to the gym. And before that, if you had said, Tyson, we think you should go to the gym, I would have said, you're crazy. I haven't been in the gym since I was 21 years old. Why would I want to do that? No, thank you. But I have to say, since I've been on this program, it's made major changes in my life. So I highly recommend that you give it a try. And why not? Feel better, more fit, more energy, 15 years younger, pain-free. Sounds good to me.
When you have a prescription and you know actually the environment you're walking into and you know what you're going to do in that environment specifically, it just makes a whole lot of difference about how you feel about your workouts, how you feel about yourself, and the results, you know, you speak for themselves. The results speak for themselves. Unlike what most people are doing when they go to the gym, they do whatever, however, with no plans, and you know, if you notice, people are not really aging that gracefully. Actually, I was talking to somebody at the gym, actually just a couple of days ago, and we were looking around and congratulating ourselves to be there in the environment, working out, and commenting about, you know, how we're aging and how many people are just not aging that gracefully, you know, just letting their body go. And it's a shame, because at Dr. Fitness USA we have answers.
So here we have some frequently asked questions that I'm going to go over kind of rapidly, because over the next 13 weeks we're going to talk more in detail about those questions. So a lot of times people ask us, don't personal trainers do that? You know, I hire a personal trainer, I go to the gym, he helps me work out, so what's the difference? Okay, so personal trainers, first of all, are taught to work you out. Personal trainers are not taught about postural alignment, and they're certainly not taught about correcting muscular imbalances. Okay, those are specialty skills that are not taught in personal training school. I know I'm a personal trainer myself.
This program is different from others because, you know, anybody can tell somebody to lift something and all that, and you can see that on some people that are really struggling, they hate what they're doing. And in this program, he actually designs stuff that you like to do. That's why I spend 2 hours in the gym, minimum of 3 times a week, and it just goes by really quickly. You know, it's almost like you're on a kind of a meditation mode. You know, nothing else counts except what you're doing, and it feels good when you put the weights down, and you feel really strong and invigorated. And that's the difference. You know, in here you're independent. Other trainers, like I said, have told me that, I see, we've been watching you, and you really know what you're doing. And I said, isn't that what what we get a trainer for?
Another question we get is, doesn't yoga do that? No, the yoga does not do the same as strength training, flat out. In philosophy, yoga might be closer to our program because it does align with universal laws if you take the more of the philosophy of it. But in terms of a fitness activity, yoga is very, very different. It addresses different muscle fibers. Is a totally different protocol. So no, yoga doesn't do that. Another question is, I don't like the gym. Can I do that at home? No. We work in the gym because in our system, we use certain pieces of equipment that actually support your spine so that you can use and lift the weight that is going to make the structural alignment that you need to correct posture and to make these changes in the body. So that you cannot do at home. You don't have those pieces of equipment at home. So yes, it is required to go to a gym. Will I lose weight? So the program is balanced and will address weight loss naturally, and it is going to be a byproduct of that. I don't live in LA area. Can I still learn your program? Yes. Like I mentioned earlier, I spent the last 10 years developing online programs. So now we have an entire online mentoring program. Wherever you are in the world, you have access to this knowledge. So you do not have to be in LA. Big one here. My doctor told me not to lift anything heavy. Well, we're not going to tell you to do anything against your doctor's advice. However, I suggest that you do your due diligence, because in the gym, there are people that would be crippled, that would be dead, that are missing limbs, that have broken their spines, that the doctor told them they would never walk again. And these people are in the gym and they're weightlifting, and that's how they recovered their health and their body. So do your due diligence when you make the decision not to move forward with a strength training program like ours because your doctor told you to do so, because you might be missing out on an opportunity to really help yourself. I have scoliosis. Can I still do your program? The program addresses postural alignment and muscular imbalances when you put the body back into balance and you do work the muscular structure around the spine then the muscles are going to be holding your spine up, and you're going to make a great, great improvement in scoliosis as well. Now, if you are in pain, if you have an injury, whatever the situation may be, I guarantee you that the worst thing you can do for yourself is do nothing, because that's when the injuries and the problem is completely going to set in, okay? So that's the bottom line. So if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA can help you achieve it.
Well, the thing is, if your mind can conceive it, then Dr. Fitness USA can help you achieve it.
Is it going to happen in 6 months when they have more money, more time, and better circumstances to get started?
Well, I give the analogy that when I went to the dentist, she said, "Oh, you have bone loss." And I said, "Well, can I have it back?" She said, "No, of course not." So when you look at the human body, for those women or men that sit on their butt and do nothing, the yoga is not going to do it, or the Pilates, even the personal training. And they're thinking they're going to do it tomorrow. The longer they wait, the more it's impossible to reverse what's going on. So when people come to see me, the student for me that makes a good fit is the one said, "Is what's going on in my body reversible? And would you take me on as a student to change that, because I'm committed to being a better person, have optimum health for my children." And the guy or the husband that says, "I used to," you can be sure he's not giving you the best gift of opportunity to improve yourself and come out of your comfort zone, take risk, and be the best that you can be. So if you're in a relationship, don't talk to men about money, because they're negotiators. They'll knock you down. Just say, "Take care of it." That's all they need to know. When you express your feelings, you say, "Take care of it. That's what makes me feel good." They'll take care of it, or they'll come up with a solution. Stop being the man in your family, and stop being the man in your life. Except at work, of course, because we're all equal at work. So come with an open mind and an open heart. We'll walk hand in hand in life, and you'll have a program that's sustainable, and you'll be your own drummer.